Hello. Hello, everybody. I don't know who's all watching or anything. This is kind of a new setup I'm trying to do with the uh, the Google Hangouts. I do have a few guests that are supposed to be coming on with me live here in a second. Cole Thornton is kind of missing out. He was going to join me as a guest speaker, and I'm going to use some of his slides on marketing gig that he had. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm excited about this. So this is going to be recorded on YouTube, and the topic of the conversation is marketing in the cell phone and electronics repair business. It's a little bit different than your normal businesses, but for the most part, it's the same as anything else, any other business when it comes to marketing. The mindset that you want to have, the actions that you want to take for your marketing game plan are pretty much the same in any business. In today's day and age, it's changed a lot. Used to, you could put your business, 10, 15 years ago, you could easily get away with just putting your business on the yellow pages and be done with it. But now it's all about engagement, customer engagement, and getting the customer engaged with the processes that we have in the business, and Facebook, and making sure they're doing reviews, making sure that they're doing referrals, keeping them engaged in the process of the business, make them feel like they're part of the system that we have. I'm gonna open up chat. Can y'all hear me and see me clearly? I'm gonna go ahead and go on. I don't have anybody in here right now at the moment, but I'm gonna go ahead and go on because it's gonna be recorded on YouTube, so I'm just gonna have at it. And then I have a guest speaker that's supposed to come on in an hour. I believe it's Tamer Shakri. I guess that's how you say it. He's going to talk about some wholesale parts of the business that he's involved in. And if anybody else wants to get involved in the conversation for the world to see, I'm all about it. This is a community thing, and also wanting to help other people in their businesses, share some information that we have, some information that I have, and I also have some systems and some programs that can help with marketing if you're too busy to do it, because we all know in electronics and cell phone repair business, usually we get tied up all day long, and by 7 o'clock in the evening, we're wore out just doing repairs all day and trying to deal with customers and trying to deal with the employees. And I deal with it every day. It's a constantly freaking question trying to deal with the customers and employees, and to have any extra time for marketing is there's almost no time left and no energy left at the end of the day. And so you got to have systems and programs in place to do some of that for you with the customers in the system that you have going on already. You don't want to wait till the last second. I'm gonna go ahead and hold on 1 second. Always get these time difference changes. Tamer thought it was, I guess, Eastern time or something. All right, so this is some slides that I shared from Cole Thornton. And he had done a webinar a while back, and I was really intrigued by the way that he did it and the information that he had. So I kind of asked him if I could have his approval to use this, and he's going to start joining in the conversation as well on these webinars. And of course, every business, you need to start with your business cards. It goes to referrals and carrier referrals. You can drop off your business cards with carriers, with AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Sprint, and other stores. And you can get, oh, wow, how'd that happen? Okay. So you can get referrals in the system of your marketing system of the business that way, just by using your business cards. Whenever we print a ticket in our store, we write the ticket number on the back of the business card, and we give that to the customer, and they get to keep that card. So they automatically get a card in the system. Not even if somebody's not thinking about it, they're going to get a business card. Trying to see how I can make this bigger. And so we want to build that relationship with the customer. We want to make sure they feel like we're, their best friends. We're here to help them, which we are. We want to create buzz around the business. We got to keep in that marketing mindset all the time. We got to brand our businesses to where they tell a story. When we first opened up at Shattered ER 5 years ago, we started out by wearing scrubs because the name of Shattered ER had, it's emergency room, but it's also electronic repair. And so we would wear scrubs and doctor's outfits, and everybody loved that. They talk about it, and we kind of got away from it. But honestly, we should probably get back into that, because that gets a buzz with the customers when they come in. It's not something they see every day. It's just somebody working on electronics wearing, doctors' uniforms and scrubs. We want to track referrals. You can use a point of sale system if you use Repair Queue, Repair Shopper. Some of that stuff's kind of built in there. I'm not really for sure how it works in Repair Shopper. I've yet to really figure that one out, but it's really hard to track referrals, and a lot of people probably don't do that. But if we can figure out a way to get that going to where we can track it, we can see what we can improve. Marketing is always a test. Everything's a test with marketing. And basically, if we try one thing and our conversion rates jump up a little bit, then we need to stick with that thing. That's an obvious thing that we need to do. But a lot of times we don't track it. We don't track our marketing. We don't test our marketing. So it comes off as a haphazard thing that you just miss out on a lot of opportunities with customers. We want to build a system and be able to track it and look at the conversion rates in a way that's going to bring customers in our doors, to where we don't have to worry day by day if we're going to make money or if we're going to have customers coming in, and it's no guesswork. We could actually track it to a point to where we know how many customers we have coming in that next day, and we know that it's enough to cover everything in the business cost, cover the rent and the salary, and we don't have to send anybody home. We have to do that with our marketing. We can improve our marketing if we watch it. One thing that we really need to watch is our appearance. We want to keep our customer area spotless. It's got to be clean. Think of like an Apple store. You want that thing shining. You want that thing just looking like it's freaking gold. And pay attention to the small details, like Cole talks about on his slides. Your business cards should look perfect. do not want to cheap out on your business cards. Don't do it. And always have them on your counter. And you can either have a $5 or a 5% discount on the back of the business card, and that pushes referrals. Or the customer can use that the next time they come in, and that also pushes the ability for them to come back and purchase from you some more. And we always recommend uniforms. You know, you want to keep, you know, a clean, tidy uniform on. You don't want your guys just kind of wearing sloppy stuff. You know, we've kind of fell into the habit like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I finally had to make a point like, hey, you can't just show up wearing just really sloppy stuff. We're pretty casual in our business because it's just the way guys are. But if you could wear a shirt that even has just a printed logo of your business on it, even just a polo shirt for the guys, even if it's a cheaper one, as long as it looks nice and clean, it would actually work a lot better for your business. And if you was tracking that, you'd actually see like, okay, customers are kind of being more respectful and actually taking notice that, you know, if you wear, I found it pretty awesome. If you wear like certain colors, it actually psychologically, like a blue color will actually be different than if you wore a green color, based on the fact that blue colors sometimes show more authority, and every color kind of subconsciously kind of shows something to the customer. So we want to track that. If we try different colors on our shirts, we want to be able to see, okay, are our conversions kind of going up? And it is kind of hard to know that 100% without a doubt, but if you just pay attention, you can catch it. You want to wipe phones off with microfiber cloth, make sure they're charged and everything, especially if they're used and stuff. You want to clean them up, make sure they're nice and sparkly and, you know, as good as new as they can look, even though they might have a few scratches on them or whatever. You always want to have newsletters and brochures and flyers printed. And if you can't use programs yourself, like I like to use, you know, a lot of times I'll use Fiverr here, but also sometimes I'll use Lucid Press is a good one. It's a really good one. As far as the software that you can use to actually make your own products, you basically grab pictures that you've taken or royalty-free images. You have to be real careful with that. You have to use royalty-free images or you will get in trouble, and actually put them into your flyer and design it and print it, and they come out looking really nice. So you can put your own messages in there and you don't have to pay somebody as a designer to do it. But Fiverr, they usually do it $5, $10. They'll do it for you. So that's always an option. They also, Fiverr is really good about making logos, and also really good about a bunch of different things, as far as just even like day tasks, as far as like doing data entry and marketing and videos. You know, if you wanted to make some video marketing, you could use that. It's awesome. We want to join small business associations and Chamber of Commerce grand openings. So I'm trying to see real fast. I'm new to this Google Hangouts thing, so give me a second. I was going to see. Make sure nobody else is. You got a question, Alberto? You trying to chat, or you wanting to talk? Are you wanting the floor for a second? I think it'll. Craigslist is a really good place as far as free marketing. It's really nice. You can really kind of stay away from pay-per-click ads, because in our business that don't really work very well, but in some businesses that could work if you're selling high-end products, and the conversion rates, ain't that big of a deal. Okay. Moving on. And what marketing wouldn't be right without mentioning Facebook, right? It's basically, Facebook is the internet and the internet is Facebook. So you can almost put all of your marketing efforts into Facebook and actually learn that system more than anything else, and put a lot of time and effort into it, and you would always get conversion rates increases for your business. You'd always get more action, more customers. They use different algorithms to index whether you show up on somebody's live feed. If you're just posting crappy posts like once a month, you think you're going to be in somebody's live feed? No, you're not ever going to even show up when you do that. So you really got to stay engaged with the customer. You got to keep them engaged with you. And if you join different groups, and do the different contests and updates that are relevant with the customer base in our business, then you can add to that and help that. Reviews are really big on Facebook as far as showing up in the Facebook search. Promoted posts. You can promote posts. You can budget $5, $10 a day or more. You can do, $100 a week, $200 a week. Promoted posts on Facebook, they work glorious. They always work really well. You could even have really bad. It's not something that you want to do on purpose, but you could have bad ad copy in that post and not even have it really designed that well. And if you paid for a promotion on Facebook to push it, then it would push it because you're actually paying them for that. But there is ways around that to where you don't even have to pay that. And it's based on getting engagement with the customers and not just guessing about Facebook, actually getting them engaged. There's a program called Hootsuite that works pretty good on keeping track of some of the Facebook stuff. That works really well. Cole says right here, update your cover photo regularly. Keep it relevant, because they're going to look and see if it's being updated and relevant. If your page and your post are not being updated very much, then you're going to fall to the back of the line really fast, really, really fast. You must find ways to engage your audience and your customer, or Facebook will leave you out of the feed. Even if you're pushing posts, even if you're putting posts up every day or two, and they're not getting engagement, you're not getting shares, likes, or comments, you got to do things that actually bring comments to the fold, even if they're negative comments. And even if you have people that don't agree with what you're saying and they don't like it or whatever, that's still, if they're replying, then it still matters. It still carries weight in the Facebook world. It doesn't really matter as long as there's likes, shares, comments. There's not an unlike button yet. Instagram is a new up and comer of social. So we really got to look into that. We really got to pay attention to that. You know, video on YouTube, that's really big. If we can make we can do videos showing people how to use electronics and stuff. That'll be really big for us in this industry. And also do reviews on smartphones that we have in store. You know, you could do an email newsletter. And there's also newsletters that are, I've started reading something from Dan Kennedy that I got the other day. And, a lot of us think, we fall into the trap of thinking that digital ad spend is the only way to go. And for the most part it is, but there's still physical newsletters that you can create and send out to your local. You can get mailing lists and actually mail out snail mail to people. And if you do it in the right way, you have the right ad copy in there, and you really pay attention to that, you can really get into that. You can really get some feedback from that. So hold up for a second. Let me check and make sure, do a little bit more technical test here, make sure that I'm not just dropping out of the world. Alberto, are you trying to chat? Are you trying to get in the video feed? Let me know. If anybody wants to jump in and say a few words, if they have something to share with the community, that's by all means, that's what I'm wanting to do. Nobody just jumps in with me. And I'm still having technical issues with trying to figure out the system that we can do it. But somebody's got to take it by the horns and actually do this so we can actually help each other. Oh, come on, dude. All right, so back to the marketing. Autoresponders are really big in the marketing world. Okay, so you can automate your marketing using autoresponders. If you have RepairQ or Repair Shopper or some of the other point of sale systems that kind of track your customers and have any kind of a customer management system in there, then hold on one second. So with autoresponders, we can actually automate the process of actually reaching out and keeping in touch with the customer every few days. One thing that we do with Repair Shopper, we reach out to the customer about a week after the repair, and we ask them how the job went, how the repair went, or how the sale is, how the device is, whatever they bought. And then you also can push them into reviews using those autoresponders. You really got to ask for the reviews as much as possible because those reviews carry a load of weight. So the more that you can get reviews, the more generation you can get on being on the top of search results. It's like Cole says, he implemented it when he actually has a case study. He implemented it and got 30 Google reviews right off the bat in 2 months. So that's pretty good. Some places don't get that much in the whole lifetime of the business. And you have to do that through actually pushing the customer. You can actually there are systems, and that's one system that I'm going to offer with my product is a way to get reviews from the customer in the store. All right, give me 1 second here. We also want to remarket and re-engage the customer base that we have. So if we can get the number of transactions per customer up, that's one of those wealth creation principle formulas, is if we can get that customer to come back multiple times a year and they wouldn't have normally done that, then we're increasing our wealth exponentially. And especially if we have a system built around that to do that, it's going to keep on doing that throughout the whole year. I was trying to see. I got somebody wanting to join in the conversation, and I can't find where the button is for the hot people. I mean, I know cameraman should do it, but when I click on it, show or hide in your broadcast with this button. Hide their audio and video from my broadcast. No. Technology, you gotta love it. So what kind of question do you have, Alberto? I'm trying to get you on to where everybody can hear you. But it's not working. All right, well, I'm just going to carry on because I want to drag on too much. Basically Repair Queue and Repair Shopper and a lot of the other ones, they allow you to run a marketing report for anyone that had an iPhone 5C repaired. And then you can export that customer data and send them newsletters on that particular device. So let's say, like he says here, you get a bunch of cases and you mark it out to that person and you get them to come back and you get that foot traffic coming back in your store. That's one way to remarket. And that kind of gets into the, the big business model now of doing subscription-based businesses or marketing. You also, if you do cell phone bills, cell phone plans, and sell those services, the prepaid services in your stores, then you will get a lot more foot traffic from that, which you can do upsells based on, what kind of device they have. You can upsell them on a case, tempered glass. Next thing you know, they're spending $30, $40, $50 extra on top of the cell phone bill. So it's pretty awesome. Radio for the most part is worthless. It's had its days. I mean, I'm sure you could play with it and you could, if you did it right, I'm sure you could get some decent return on investment from that. But with the digital digital world, we really don't have to worry about that too much. And then TV, I agree, is worthless as well. Everybody's kind of getting away from that. I'll be surprised one day if we even have regular cable TV anymore laying around because all the internet capabilities that we have. Then you got things like paid Yelp accounts, that you're kind of getting into territory as far as like the Google pay-per-clicks and stuff. And Cole says something about traditional ads are worthless, don't do it. For the most part, that's right, but I would kind of disagree and put my point in that you can get, if it depends on what customer base you're trying to get in there. If you're only worried about the 20, 30, 40-year-olds, and yeah, maybe, but you're going to have them older people by rungs and rungs and rungs are starting to get smartphones and tablets and computers, and they have this stuff too, and they still read some of that old ad copy, and people can see that stuff. And sometimes if you can get pretty good deals on the stuff now because everybody thinks that traditional ads don't work. So it's actually a place that you could get a pretty good deal if you actually, haggled for it. Work real big. I agree 100% on focusing on becoming the local consumer tech authority. You want to do that with your customer base, as far as like doing tips and tricks, doing maybe little training classes on how to use your device. Maybe for some of the new people that just started using their device, we could show them how to, Apple Store is kind of big on that. And so we can kind of model that based on an Apple Store where they actually get, will show you, they'll have a tech sit there with you and show you how to use the product. Business directories, list your business on as many of these as possible. He has here, be sure to save all of your passwords in a Google account, doc, or spreadsheet. You can also use LastPass. That's a really quick hack that I love. If you have to keep a lot of accounts on hand, use LastPass. Business directories are a great place to place keywords relating to your business. It also counts as a link back to your site, so that helps with like your SEO and your indexing and everything. And he has a link here. I don't know if y'all can actually use that or not live, but if you can see it, tiny.ccbiz. You can probably just Google biz directories and pull that up. Thumbstack is kind of a new thing, and then fixfinder.com. It's a business directory for cell phone repair industry. So especially if you're the only person in your business in the area, then that might be a good thing to do. Referrals are a powerful way to squeeze more out of your marketing. I'm going to go back to that again. You've already invested the time, effort, energy, and money to get a customer. And who do you think is the most likely to be your potential customer again? Your current customer. So we want to make sure we push those referrals and get them coming back. And our current customers love us, so they're going to be more apt to tell other people about us. %89% of small businesses find that social media helps them gain exposure and increase their web traffic, but 31% say they don't know how to use social effectively or don't know what to post. And managing multiple social networks is difficult, and this is why Vendasta developed social marketing. Now, this is the system that I'm going to be using as a reseller, but also a digital agent to be able to help people in marketing. And since I'm in the cell phone business as well, you know, with my added input with the social accounts, because it manages your social accounts, your reviews online. It puts all your listings all together, because a lot of times people's listings will be off, especially if you have multiple locations. Your listings might be off. If you change location, a lot of times there's a lot of companies that end up being listed in the wrong place for way too long because they don't have time to go in and change your listing. This system actually will help clean up all the major listing sites for you, just almost automatically. It's amazing how it works. And then the social footprint, and also a micro website. So if a new like startup company, for instance, I could actually build a website that's SEO capable really quickly with the system, so that the work can be done very easily, and it can be managed on whether you want to do some of it yourself, and you want to try to, if you're more of a do-it-yourselfer, you could actually get in the system and use it a little bit yourself and actually save a little bit of money. But if you wanted to kind of sublet and kind of lease out some of the work per se, then we could do that as well. So there's many different options with it. It's really an awesome package deal. That's pretty much all I got for the presentation. So that's pretty much all I have for the presentation. Trying to see if anybody had any questions or answers that are watching. Pull up the chat box. Anybody have any questions or answers? Anybody want to jump in and try to join the conversation? Tamer, or Tamer, however you say his name, I think he got off on time a little bit, so I might get with him and redo this. And he actually is going to get into the wholesale part of the business. So actually, we might set that up next week as a really big topic. And then Co Thornton is going to start joining the conversation. And I have a few other people that are wanting to join up and actually start sharing and actually talking back and forth a little bit. So if anybody wants to try to join up and say something real fast, just let me know. But I'm just trying to figure out the cameraman function. Hide their audio. Sorry, I picked up a cold. Whew. No, I've got. Guess I'm just going to have to figure out the technical aspects of this tomorrow and just do a separate deal and figure it out. But so that's all I got. That's some marketing knowledge in my head in a nutshell. And from some of Co Thornton's slides and stuff, presentations. I appreciate you letting me use that, Co. We'll talk later. But anybody wants to go back and watch this, I mean, it should be on YouTube. So have at it. Peace.